energy of like putting on a front here. And then for the energy of how they are showing up toward this connection or what they're giving to this connection is hiding. So this is just further confirmation that this is more of like a show. And there's an element of fear here, of vulnerability. And then person two is showing up as the firefly and the guide. And what's interesting about the firefly is that um, it appears to be something that's incredibly magical. It's a very beautiful experience to watch fireflies in the evening. But what this is really indicating is that although it appears to be like almost miraculous, it's something that just is, it happens naturally for this firefly to light up. Um, and so what I'm sensing from this person is that this person is showing up in a very secure place in this connection, in which they probably are appearing to this blue jay and cardinal as somebody who is really beautiful, really magical, really magnetic. Um, but at the same time, it's effortless. It's just this person being authentic to themselves. And with the guide here, um, I'm sensing, with the firefly being an insect that lights up the night, I feel like the firefly in this instance is really being the guiding light in this connection, the guiding light for this cardinal slash blue jay. And the energy that this person is bringing towards this connection is green, which is a card of growth, and not just growth, but I would say even overgrowth. I would say that this firefly person really has a strong desire to make this connection fertile and abundant and grow. What's interesting though is that the connecting energies is the desert. And I actually want to read some things out of the guidebook for the desert. Um, because I think that it's pretty powerful. But what I'm picking up on energetically from these two people is that perhaps there's been a distance, or there's like a dry spell of some kind going on in this. It feels very barren right now. It's like a drought kind of energy, and water is representative of emotion. So the lack thereof is signifying to me kind of like um, an emotional lack at the moment. But what I think is really interesting is the imagery here in hiding, is a person covering their face, but these tears are falling, which is representative of emotion as well. And I think that what this is indicating is that what this desert needs, what this energy needs, is some more vulnerability, most specifically, I think, on this Blue Jay and Cardinals end. Um, but what I wanted to read for you from this guidebook is just a small portion of it. It says, when in the throes of the desert, contemplate the following. You are not alone. You have more supplies with you than you think. Water is very near. So I feel like the both of you right now could be feeling a little bit isolated or alone, or um, as though what you need is not being met at the moment. Um, but what this is also indicating is that there's also a connecting energy, in the sense of this is something that you both are experiencing. And in both of you experiencing this, are you really, you're not actually alone in this experience, is essentially what I'm trying to say. Okay. So now let's go over here to what this Blue Jay person is thinking. And we have the Five of Wands reversed, the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. So in terms of what this person is thinking, I think that this person is viewing this Firefly person as their counterpart. And what I think is interesting is that this person here has also pulled the Queen of Pentacles in terms of what they are thinking. And we have Abundance here, which is a very pentacly type of card. So I don't know if perhaps this has something to do with work for some of you, or Perhaps you guys have built a home together, and that doesn't have to be the case. The biggest takeaway that I'm getting from this is that this cardinal person views this firefly person as their counterpart. And with the Five of Wands being reversed, I'm sensing that this person is also viewing this connection as something in which they want to stop if there has been any type of conflict in the past or bickering of any kind. They don't want that anymore. Um, what they want is this Page of Pentacles, or Page of Cups, which in the keyword is play. So instead of like having a competitive attitude or a challenging attitude toward this, what they would like is for this connection to come into a place of lightheartedness and fun. Over here, this firefly person is viewing this or is thinking in terms of this connection of the Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Fool. Again, we have this element of, with the Six of Swords here, the Six of Swords is an energy of transitioning from something that might be a little chaotic into stiller waters. Originally in the Rider-Waite deck, it's an image of people on a boat moving away. And this particular card is viewing the Fool, which is right here. So I feel like both of these people are thinking in terms of moving away from something that might have been a little bit chaotic, when wanting to go into something a little bit more playful or into more of a fresh start energy. And then we also have abundance. I think the connecting energies right now, in terms of what both of these people are thinking, I think might have to do for some of you, if you guys have shared bills together, or have made investments together, or really have just put a lot of effort into this connection. Both of you are focused on the work that you have already put forth, and it's heavy on your mind. And then we have, in terms of what are they feeling for the Blue Jay person, we have the Four of Cups, the High Priestess reversed, and the Two of Pentacles reversed. This person here feels very overwhelmed and confused, and is trying to come back into balance and understand things a little bit better. But right now they just feel really off, and they're not really in touch with this intuition. They're confused. The biggest feeling I'm getting from this is overwhelm, confusion, and a desire to come to some sort of understanding. And then over here, for the Firefly person, in terms of what they're feeling, we have the Page of Cups again. We have the Queen of Wands, the Star, and the Six of Cups. The Page of Cups is just like this. There's an energy of play. There's like a lighthearted energy to the Page of Cups, a playful energy, but also the Page of Cups in particular can indicate an emotional offering, like an apology of some kind. And then we also have the Six of Cups. So this is further confirmation of wanting to, it's like makeup energy, or reconciliation. There's a desire here to come back together if you both have been in a distance of some kind. And with the Queen of Wands here and the Star, I sense that another thing that this Firefly person is feeling is a strong desire for this other person. There's wishful energy here, hopeful energy here with this Star. And the Queen of Wands is a very determined, manifesting energy. And so in terms of what I think this person is feeling, they are wishing for some sort of reconciliation or reunion or coming together, or perhaps even just a more lighthearted, playful, loving energy. And there's also love here. This person on this side feels an immense amount of love and passion. And then in the center right here, in terms of the connecting energy of these people, we have caution. I think that both parties here are feeling a little unsure and cautious of what is to come, or of what is going on right now. And then in terms of what for the Blue Jay slash Cardinal person, we have the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and then the Two of Swords. This person particularly is coming out of this energy of confusion and overwhelm. That much is sure. The Queen of Cups is another card that is all about intuitiveness, psychic abilities, your heart space. The key word here is sensitivity. I'm also picking up on like an essence of vulnerability. And so I think what's shifting for this person is the energy they're putting toward this connection right now in terms of hiding. I don't think that this person wants to be in hiding anymore. They're still working through some things because you can't really be vulnerable if you don't know what it is that you're feeling. But with sensitivity here, I'm sensing that they are going to be coming out of this period of confusion, this period of indecision. With the Two of Swords reversed, I feel like this person really is going to be um, in a stronger position to know what it is that they need to do. Um, and with the Knight of Swords here, I sense action. I'm feeling action on this person's end. Action that's centered around the heart. And then over here, we have more intuitive energy of what is shifting. But I think for this firefly, I think that this firefly person is shifting into an energy in which they are going to be kind of stepping out of this guide energy and into more of an energy of receiving. We have the high priestess again. This is more intuitive energy, and it's also divinely feminine energy. And we also have the Nine of Pentacles, which again is a divinely feminine energy. And typically with this Nine of Pentacles, it's a woman standing alone in her garden, completely abundant. And I think that both of these cards are indicating a a focus on the self and abundance within the self for this firefly person, and an energy of receiving rather than giving or being action oriented. And I see it here with the hanged man as well. I'm sensing that this person is going to be in a state of surrender and receiving rather than trying to be the one to make this work. And this person is coming into an action oriented energy. And then the connecting energy for what is shifting for these two people is rest. And I think with rest, the biggest energy that I'm getting from this is understanding. I think that what's shifting right now is the energy that these two people are in is one of perhaps turmoil, of drought, of like feeling as though you're having to survive. And both of these people are coming out of. Let's go ahead and some more information. Let's go ahead and do the Jluche first. What's going on with this person? Available. Very interesting. Yeah, you know, yeah, I think that currently what's going on with them is um they're struggling with what it is that they're feeling and trying to understand it. And like I was saying, you can't be vulnerable if you don't understand what it is that you're feeling, if you're not in touch with your emotions. And so currently, this unavailable energy is the same energy as hiding. So I don't think that this is news to you if you've been watching this and it's been resonating with you. But then we have passion and obsession. So I think that this is a connection that is absolutely on their mind, and they're trying to work through this so that they can come out of it. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the firefly. What's playing on with the firefly? Strictly sexual. This connection is passionate but not enduring. I feel like this firefly is at a point in which they feel a little fed up, and I'm seeing it here with what's shifting is I don't think that this I think that this firefly is, and honestly, with this desert here, what could be happening is like this blue jay person is feeling a drought, like a sexual drought, and then this firefly person is feeling an emotional drought, um, where neither one is giving the other what it is that perhaps is their love language. And so I think this firefly person feels as though there isn't really an emotional connection because this person is kind of hiding it. It's just telling. Oh, wow. Okay. And then we have balance. One person is giving too much in this relationship. And I think that that is where this person is trying to shift to. They don't want to be the one that is the guide anymore, or the one that's trying to make this connection grow. They want it to be balanced and stable. I think that balance and stability here are what this firefly does. Okay, finally, last but not least, let's go ahead and get one piece of advice for the blue jay. Of teamwork. I'm determined to be a good teammate in all of my relationships. If we disagree, I'll resist the urge to place blame and look for a way to solve the problem together. When we're a team, everything's game, and when we're on the same side, nobody can lose, not even the Cubs. And some advice for the Firefly. We have grace. I face disagreements with grace and flow through the ups and downs of my relationships without getting thrown off center. With grace, I'm able to keep my cool, be my best self, and not resort to name calling, even when the crappy poo poo face is being a douchey barf. And finally, we will go ahead. One affirmation for the middle. One affirmation is there for of my kindness is a gift I bestow upon. Okay, pile one. Well, this is what I am seeing for you. If it resonated, I would love to hear about how it did in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But anyway, pile one, thank you so much for letting me read for you today. And I hope that I'll have the chance to read for you again soon. Bye. Below pile two, if you choose this clear quartz heart, then this is going to be your reading on you versus them. What is going on in. So the oracle cards are going to represent you, your energy toward the connection, them, their energy toward the connection, and then these tarot cards right here are going to indicate what you and them are thinking, feeling, and what's shifting for you. And then these prism oracles are going to indicate the connecting energies between the three things that I just stated. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Person one is being represented as the child magical. The light attributes are seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible, and the shadow attributes are pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. And the energy that they're bringing to the connection right now is slimy. And person two is being represented as the catfish goddess. The light attribute is the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. And the shadow attribute is exploitation of the female nature and form. And the energy that they are bringing to the connection right now is, and then the connecting energies between these, the shaman. let's go ahead and get into the tarot too. And then I'll go ahead and talk about each person's, like, you know, whether or not this is your pile. What is person one have been feeling? And then what's shifting for this one? And let's go ahead and look into what is going on with the second. Okay. What is into proving? What are they thinking? Two of Pentacles or of Cups? Five of Swords and how are they feeling? We have the Hermit reverse, the Ace of Pentacles. What are they feeling? Okay, the Ace of Cups and the King of Pentacles. And then what's shifting for this person? We have the Fool. What's shifting for them? We have the Five of. We have the Two of Cups. And finally, what is the connecting energy of what they're thinking? What's the connecting energy that they're feeling? Fear, and what's the connecting energy of what's shifting? Okay, so pile two. What's going on in this connection? So let's go ahead and start. So this young person, I think, is really in a state right now of feeling somewhat threatened. Um, and because of this is using self-protective measures like a stunk wood in which they're spraying a really nasty smell to get people to go away. Um, and what I'm sensing is that they feel betrayed. Um, and a little jealous. The energy that this person is bringing towards this connection is slimy, which is an energy of like it's an icky feeling, and a feeling of jealousy. And with child magical here, I feel like there's a little bit of light and shadow attributes that this person is showing up as right now. So I feel like this person really wants a fresh start. I feel like honestly there was a betrayal or a letdown of some kind on this catfish's end, and this person is trying to stay in the light attributes of seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things and the belief that everything's possible, like people can change, things like that. But also there's this element of not being really sure whether or not this catfish is willing to change or is capable of change. And then over here, we have the catfish person. And I think that the catfish person is really in a state of flow right now. So the catfish can swim in rivers for up to like 100 miles, and they just kind of like go with the river. And I'm sensing that that's kind of what this person's tactic is at the moment. But I also think that this person currently or in the recent past was showing up in the shadow attributes of the goddess, in which there was a betrayal or a manipulation or some sort of letdown of some kind. And therefore, the energy that this person is bringing towards this connection is one of sadness. The hold is about icky feelings as well. But what's interesting is that um, we have the shaman here and as the connecting energy. And the shaman has three different types of energies intermingled into it. There's the energy of studying or practice, mastering something, and then therefore it kind of catapults a person into a state of healing yourself as well as the community. Um, And then once that has taken place, it opens up doors into the other world, into a psychic realm. So the shaman consists of all three of those elements of studying, healing, and open doorways or psychic abilities. And so what I'm sensing here is that both of these people are working towards the shaman energy, are working towards becoming better versions of themselves, are working towards healing themselves and helping this connection heal, and are working towards opening up the door for something new. Um, yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And then over here, in terms of what the skunk is thinking, we have the Ace of Cups, the Two of Swords, and then the Sun. I think that this person is feeling as though is under the impression, is thinking that they would like to have some sort of emotional renewal or rebirth with the catfish person, but right now they're in a state of being unsure. They are under the impression that there might be more to this situation or to this story, that there needs to be light shed on before they can come up with a decision of what they want to do. This catfish person, what they're thinking is that they messed up. We have the Four of Cups here and the Five of Swords. The Four of Cups can be an energy that's very apathetic, of not realizing what's being offered in front of you and instead just kind of crossing your arms and looking the other way. And the Five of Swords is an energy of kind of winning at all costs, not really looking out for anyone but yourself. And I think that this is acknowledgement that this is the catfish is acknowledging in their thoughts that this is the behavior or the energy that they were in. And um, for them, what they're thinking also with this Two of Pentacles here is that they have a desire to come back into balance. And also, I think that this has to do with trying to juggle multiple things. There's acknowledgement here that they messed up, and with this world here as well, that is the reason why this connection is in the state that it is in right now. And the connecting energy for what both of these people are thinking right now is passion. I think, and I think that there's probably a sexual element to this passion, but I think that this is also passion in the sense of um, lots of other feelings, like perhaps anger or betrayal. But both parties are acknowledging like a heatedness to this connection right now. And then over here, for what this person is feeling, this person, we have the King of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Emperor. What they're feeling right now is um, a desire to be in control, and there's still love here. We have the Knight of Cups here, so there is love, but the Emperor and the King of Pentacles really aren't masculine energies that are in a heart space. It's more of like the Emperor is much more of like a controlling type of figure that's ready for battle. And then the King of Pentacles is more of a masculine energy that is focused on their material world and what they can gain. And the key word for this emperor is take up space. And I think that right now this person is kind of in an energy of confrontation with this slimy energy. I feel like right now they're looking for a fight. There's some anger here, but also love. It's coming from feeling let down. Um, and I think also with this Knight of Cups right here, I think that another thing is that they're feeling wary. They're feeling wary of um, this other person and whether or not they're being honest or if it's just kind of a charming energy to kind of manipulate or fix the situation. And over here, in terms of what this catfish is thinking, we have the Hermit reverse, the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. So again, the King of Pentacles has shown up. So both of these people, I think, there's an element in their feelings that has to do with the material world in some way, and or also like stability, needing stability, feeling as though they don't have stability and wanting it. But what's interesting with this catfish is that we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. This person has a really strong desire for renewal, and not just an emotional renewal, but a renewal in which this connection can be grounded and rooted and with deep roots that can't be uprooted really easily this time around. But with the Hermit here, I'm sensing that this person really doesn't want to take the time that this separation has given them in order to kind of gain some insight. I feel like they're a little bit resistant to it. Like they're beating themselves up, but they don't want to admit that they maybe should be alone or give this other person space. There's this resistance to a solitary energy. They do not want that. But then the connecting energies between the two of them are flow and fear. I think both of these people have a desire for this to go in a certain direction, and they're fearful of it not going the way in which they want. However, both of these people is recognizing that there's an element of divine guidance here, and they're both trying to stay in a state of flow. So, um, for what's shifting for the Scum person, we have the Hanged One, the Queen of Cups, and the Magician. I think the Scum person is really going to be very soon shifting into an energy of removing this sliminess or this Emperor energy of wanting to control and really coming into an energy of complete surrender. There's a desire here to be in a state of flow, but the fear is still here. And very soon they're going to be coming into a state of surrender. They're also going to be coming into a state of um, deep intuition. And with this intuition, it's going to help encourage them to let go of this need to control because they're going to have an element of knowing and accepting. And with the Magician here, the skunk is also coming into, I think, a state of power, like personal power, personal empowerment. And not only that, but I think with the Magician here and then the Child Magical, I think that this is also indicating that this person is going to stop teetering on the light and shadow attributes of not really knowing what to trust and is going to really be in a state of these light attributes where they just see the potential for sacred beauty in all things and they are going to believe, like the Magician knows, that all things are possible because the Magician has everything it is that they need. They have the wands, the pentacles, the cups, and the swords, everything that they need in order to manifest what it is that they want. And over here, with the catfish, in terms of what is happening or what's shifting, I'm sensing that this catfish person who has been in a state of just kind of going with the flow is going to really be stepping into a more action oriented energy with this Five of Wands. I think that they're going to be really realizing that if they don't put in the effort, this connection will be lost. And they don't, and we have Queen of Cups here and Queen of Cups here. I think both of these people are shifting into a more open heart space, into a more intuitive space. And I think that intuitively, this catfish person is shifting into the knowledge of knowing that they are going to have to fight for this connection and prove that they want to show up wholly for this other person and for themselves. And with the Two of Cups here, and then the Fool, this is a renewal, and this is a compromise. This is a partnership. This is union energy, and I think it's going to be this person putting in the effort to make that union come together. And with that being said, the connecting energy for these two people is confidence and destruction. I think the destruction energy is the same energy as this Five of Wands. I think that this catfish person is shifting the energy of this entire connection, not just within themselves, to destruct where it has been going right now, which is in a place of separation. And I think that both people are shifting into a more confident energy here in the near future. Okay, let's go ahead and get some messages. What is going on for this temp person? What's going on with this temp person? Okay, we have stability. Yeah, I think that whatever has gone on between these two has really rocked this skunk person's world, and this person is really working toward kind of centering themselves, finding a strong center point in themselves. We also have obsession. Someone in this connection is gripped by obsessive thoughts, and I think that that's something that this person is trying to let go of. With the Emperor here and the King of Pentacles, there's this element of like needing to control, and they're working towards letting that go, of allowing things to just be. And we have forgiveness. Forgiving yourself or another will help you move forward. That's another thing that I think that this skunk person is working towards, is forgiving the catfish person for whatever has gone on. And then the catfish person, it says true love. This love is emotional, physical, and unconditional. I think this is something that this person is coming to a realization about, which is why this Two of Cups is here, this Ace of Cups is here. There's an element of acknowledging that they have messed up, and what they messed up was true love. And we have awakening. Someone is undergoing a spiritual transformation. Again, I think this is also an awakening, not just a spiritual transformation. Well, I guess it is essentially a spiritual transformation. It's an awakening to themselves and their patterns. And soulmate. Your soulmate loves, accepts, respects you unconditionally. So I think that this person is kind of waking up to what this dumb person had to offer, and really wants to try to fight for this, really wants to try to prove themselves. Now let's go ahead and get some advice for the skunk. Get advice, geez. Okay. Vulnerability. I allow myself to talk about my feelings without fear of external judgment or internal drama. When I express my feelings, a couple of funny things happen. 1, I feel like a kindergartner. 2, everything gets lighter, easier, and filled with the comforting glow of honesty. Hey, no wonder kindergartners seem so fun and stress-free. Okay, and then for the catfish, what advice is there for the catfish? Okay. Boundaries. I claim my right to set healthy boundaries, and I allow others to do the same. Sometimes personal space is taken, and sometimes it's given, and sometimes if you're on the subway, it's completely disregarded and shamelessly invaded. I guess it depends on the. And then an affirmation. Every cell in my body is conscious and communicates with each positive thought I. Okay, pile two. Well, this is what I'm seeing for you today. If this reading resonated with you, I would love to hear about how it did or why in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, thank you so much, Pile 2, for letting me read for you today, and I hope that I'll have the chance to do it again soon. Bye! Hello, Pile 3. If you chose this rose quartz heart, then this is going to be your reading on you versus them. What is going on in the. So these oracle cards here are going to represent you and the energy you're putting toward the connection and your person and what they're putting toward the connection, as well as the connecting energy. And this will indicate to you whether or not this is your pile. And if it's not resonating, then you know to look for a different pile. Then these tarot cards here are going to indicate what both of you are thinking, what you're feeling, what's shifting for the both of you. And then this prism deck is going to indicate the connecting energies between the three things that I just said for the both of you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on into it. So person one is being represented as the Badger and Samaritan. The light attribute of the Samaritan is refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore, and the shadow attribute is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help. And the energy that this person is bringing toward the connection is person two is being represented as the deer and the child divine. The light attributes are innocence, purity, and redemption, suggests a special connection with the divine. And the shadow attribute is an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. And the energy that they are bringing toward this connection is laughing and then the connecting energies between the two of them. Let's go ahead and get the tarot as well going. What is person one thinking? We have the Nine of Cups, the Four of Wands. We have the Queen of Pentacles. What are they feeling? The Five of Wands. And what's shifting for this person? King of Wands. Okay. And let's go ahead and do person two as well. Okay. What is person two thinking? Okay, we have the Ten of Swords. What are they thinking? You have the Page of Cups and the Emperor. What are they feeling? We have the Seven of Cups, the King of Wands. Whoops. Of the Nine of. And then what is shifting for this person? It's shifting for this person. Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Star. Okay. And then in terms of connecting energies, what are they thinking? We have stop and feeling, confidence, and what is shifting. Okay, pile 3. Let's go ahead and start with this badger person. So badgers are very persistent animals that don't give up. They kind of take things head on, and they also live underground in places in which they've lived for generations. Um, and they're very protective of their kin. Uh, and I'm sensing that is essentially the energy that this badger person is showing up in right now, is very protective of this deer person, um, very much wanting to build stability together. um, yeah, and pretty persistent and courageous in terms of coming toward this connection and allowing themselves. And with the Samaritan here, I'm sensing that another thing that this badger is doing is not only wanting to protect this deer, but also giving this deer a hand in their healing, being there for this deer while this deer works through some. And then with this sword here, this is again protective energy, but it's also very transformative. We have an Ouroboros here, and it's divided into 4 sections representing 4 different seasons. And um, it's a card about leadership and being the leader of the changes that are happening in your life and in the seasons in which you go. And I think that this badger person is really in a state of leadership in terms of this connection energetically, is leading this connection into transformation and also leading this deer into their own state of healing that I feel like this deer is working. So with the deer here, deers are representative of the sacred in a lot of cultures, and they also represent rebirth. And I think with the child divine here, this is a rebirth of that is healing for this person. And this is also a very innocent type of animal, and it's a prey essentially. Thing other animals prey on the deer, and so I feel like this person is um, in a more delicate state right now than this badger. This badger feels very sturdy and strong, and this deer person feels very delicate, and going through some changes. And I think for the child divine to be here, I think that for a lot of these dear people, it has to do with like inner child healing or allowing themselves to be more playful, or it's allowing themselves to feel their feelings. And I see it here too with laughing and crying as the energy they are bringing toward the connection. I think that this dear person really is in an open heart space and is really trying to express their feelings to this badger person, and also just feel all of the feelings they have in all areas of their life right now. And then in terms of the connecting energy, we have the king. And the king is a dual type of energy of um, kind of both leadership and oppression, or leadership and corruption, um, service and misuse of power. There's just like there's a duality to the king, and I think that what this is essentially trying to point at in terms of what the connecting energy is for these people is that both of these people are kind of doing light work and shadow work right now, and both of these people are trying to direct this connection into a state of benevolence, if you will, into a state of something positive and healthy. So this badger person, in terms of what they're thinking, we have the Nine of Cups, the Four of Wands. This badger person really sees some a huge amount of potential with this dear person. With the Nine of Cups here, I'm viewing this as like a dream come true. This dear person is somebody that they just see as so amazing, so wonderful, someone that they could build a life with, build a home with. And with the Queen of Cups here, it's also just there's a lot of love here. This person when they think about the deer, they think of sweet memories, and they just I don't know, they feel they want this stability. That's what I would say. When they think of this connection, they think of all of the potential that it could. And then in terms of the deer, what the deer person is thinking right now, we have the Empress, the Page of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. This person is definitely going through some healing, and I think that there's still pain from. I don't necessarily know if it has to do with this connection per se, but there's work that this person is doing, and with the Ten of Swords here, there's a heaviness to it, there's a hurt to it, but there's a cycle coming to a close, and I think that this person is really looking with the Page of Cups here to do some. Again, like there's this theme of like inner child healing. The Page of Cups can represent playing. And play is important no matter what age you are. And I think that right now this person is trying to put that on um, some sort of priority. And with the Empress here too, I think that they're also uh, working on maybe even reparenting themselves, or um, allowing themselves to have good things. There's an element here of like mother and child with the Empress, and then the Page of Cups, and then also the Child Divine. Um, but also the Empress is about like birthing, and I feel like um, this person could be working on trying to allow themselves to have the good things that they have created for themselves, to enjoy those good things. That's something that's a cycle that they are trying to work toward. And then the connecting energy in terms of what these two people are thinking is stop, which I think is really interesting. I feel like um essentially what's happening here is this badger person is recognizing that this deer person has some things that they need to work through on their own, and is under the impression that they need to kind of give that person space. And I think that this person is on the same page in the sense that this needs to stop for a moment so that this person can work on what they need to do. And then in terms of what they are feeling, we have for the badger the Five of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Magician. This badger is there's so much love here and excitement. This badger feels excited and feels a gentle pull toward this dear person, and just views this dear person as just somebody so sweet. And with the Five of Wands here, I feel like this badger is also very protective. They feel very protective of the deer. And then over here with the deer, how are they feeling? The deer isn't in the same type of headspace right now. The deer is so we have the Nine of Swords and then the Seven of Cups. This dear person feels confused, and I don't think it's not about this connection. This dear person feels confused, just I think, um, in their own journey right now of wanting to be at peace, trying to figure out what the best course of action is for them to allow that to happen. But they're determined. With the King of Wands here, I would say that there is an element of knowing that they can get what they want. It's just at the moment they haven't come to that conclusion entirely yet. But they're confident. Both of these parties are confident. They feel confident in this connection. They feel confident in themselves. And then, in terms of what's shifting for the Badger, we have the Eight of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the King of Wands. Um, I think honestly, there's not really a whole lot of like big changes coming for the badger. What it looks like to me is that this badger is just going to be even further in this state of um, protectiveness, of leadership, of wanting to move this connection along. I just think that with time, these desires to have this connection grow and to help this deer and to love this deer are only getting stronger. And in terms of what's shifting for the deer, we have the star here. This is lovely. And we also have the Eight of Pentacles again. What's shifting for this deer is healing. This person has been doing a lot of work lately, and the star is such a beautiful healing card. And what this is indicating is that the work that they've been putting in for themselves is working. These cycles that they're trying to close out are coming to a close. And they are going to start coming into this energy of wanting to work on this connection as well. And with the Nine of Pentacles here, I'm also sensing that another thing that is shifting for this person is their level of empowerment, their level of strength in themselves. There's a huge amount of growth and happiness shifting for this dear person. And then the connecting energy is growth. This is beautiful. Both parties, this connection is expanding, it's growing, it's becoming more and more abundant as time goes on. Very sweet. Pile 3. Okay, what's going on with this Badger person? Tell us more. What's going on with this Badger? True love. Yeah. This Badger person is crazy about the deer. What's going on with this Badger person? Okay, I wonder if this is all that wants to come out for them. What's going on with the deer? What's going on with this deer person? Boundaries. Spiritual lesson. This person is definitely there's I think with this stop energy, this is a boundary that maybe this dear person has implemented, but it's all for the sake of growing and learning. And we have abundance. You've done the work. Abundance flows to you now. Yeah, this abundance is coming very quickly for both of. Okay, and finally, let's go ahead and get some advice. What advice is there for the Badger? We have independence. I embrace total independence and I see how empowering that is. Even when I'm in a relationship, I can still be independent by meeting my own needs and creating my own happiness. When I do that, I'm the fullest version of myself and I have much more me to give without needing pieces of me in return. The scientifically impossible. And what advice is there for the year? My best self. I trust that when I'm doing what's best for me and being the happiest version of myself, the right sorts of relationships will appear in my life. That means I can let go of all of my worries about the future, knowing that my only job is to be happy in this moment, while simultaneously attaining a cosmic level of enlightened awareness and total psychological self actualization. And finally, let's go an affirmation for you guys. The affirmation is there. I release my need to be right. I am defenseless and okay, pile 3. Well, this is where I'm going to leave you for today. If this reading resonated with you, I would love to hear about how it did in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But yeah, thank you so much, pile 3. I really enjoyed reading for you today, and I hope that I'll have the chance to read for you in another video soon. Bye. Hello, pile 4. So today we are going to be looking into you versus them. What is going on in this connection? So how I have set it up today is these oracle cards are going to represent your energy, how you're showing up, your person's energy, how they're showing up, and then this oracle card is going to represent connecting energies presently. I'm also going to pull tarot for both people on what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and what is shifting for them. And with this Prism Oracle deck, we will use these cards to see what the connecting energy is between the three things that I just mentioned. So this will be a good way to know if this is your pile just by listening to how these people are being presented. If it sounds like you and your person, then this is your pile. If it doesn't, I would suggest looking at another pile, or there might not be a message here for you today. So, person number 1 is being represented as the and child orphan. The light attributes are independence based learning, independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. And the shadow attributes are feeling of abandonment that stifled maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate. And the energy that they are bringing toward the connection right now is protect your heart. And then person 2 is being represented as the mouse and the angel. The light attribute is helping those in need with no expectation of return. And the shadow attributes are acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. And the energy they are bringing toward this connection is scrying mirror. And the connecting energies between these two. Let's go ahead and get into tarot as well. What is person 1 thinking? We have Pentacles, the 5 of Swords, what are they feeling? What is person 1 feeling? Okay, we have the Knight of Swords, the World, and the 4 of. And then what is shiftment for them? The 8 of Pentacles and the 2. I'm gonna get these all situated real quick. Okay. And then over here for person 2, let's get on into it. What is person 2 thinking right now? Okay, we have the King of Swords. We have the 8 of Cups and the Ace of Wands. How are they feeling? We have the Knight of Wands, the 2 of Cups reverse, Strength and Temperate. And then what's shifting for this person? Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles reverse. We have the 9 of Pentacles and then the 5 of Wands reverse. And then the connecting energies. What's the connecting energy from what they're thinking? happiness. What's the connecting energy for what they're feeling? Ghost. And what's the connecting energy for what's shifting? Cleanse, illumination. Okay, pile 4. Let's go ahead and start with this trout person. The trout is a fish that um, starts its life as a freshwater fish and somehow transforms itself into. And what I'm sensing from this is how this person is showing up in this connection right now is in a transformative state. This person is going through some sort of glow up right now. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with the shadow attributes of the child orphan, in which there is a fear of abandonment, which is why the energy that they are giving toward this connection right now is protect your heart. The person on the right, this mouse person, is showing up as somebody who really wants to connect with this trout and really cares for them and is rooting for them in their transformation and really has no agenda other than to see this person succeed and to love this person. Um, and with the energy that this person is bringing towards the connection as the scry mirror, this is telling me that this mouse person sees um, something much more than what perhaps is on the surface to the connection. They see a future, they see a depth to this connection, and they're energetically showing up with that knowledge. And then the connecting energy between the two of these people right now is Kairos, which is essentially divine timing. So I would say that the connecting energy between the two of these people is alignment. This connection is meant to, in terms of what the person on the left, the trout person, is thinking right now. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and Strength. I'm sensing with this Five of Swords, like this person is still currently in this energy of the child orphan in terms of fearing abandonment. And because of that, they're thinking of how they can protect themselves, but they're also acknowledging that there's something a little bit different about this connection with this Ace of Pentacles here. There is like a stability and a safety to this, and there's a chance for something different. There's a chance for this person's narrative to be rewritten. And with strength here, the key word is compassion. I think that this person is also acknowledging the compassion and the gentleness that this mouse person has shown them. And then over here, in terms of what this mouse person is thinking, we have the Eight of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. I think that this person sees a lot of opportunity, just like this Ace of Pentacles is suggesting. There's like inspiration. They feel inspired by this connection. Um, they're looking at this connection as something that has endless potential. However, at the same time, with the Eight of Cups here, this mouse person is also acknowledging that um, at the moment, the truth of what is going on is that this person is still working through some things that they have to do on their own. And with the King of Swords here, this is indicating to me that this person wants to stay in a logical place or a logical mindset right now, and allow this person the space to do the things that they need to do. And the connecting energy is happiness. Both of these people are acknowledging that this connection is something that could bring about a great deal of happiness. Then over here, in terms of how this chop person is feeling, we have the Two of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the World, and Light and Lightning, the Four of Wands. So, um, I'm sensing with this Two of Pentacles, like this person is really feeling, for one, a little bit overwhelmed, but is also realizing the potential of this connection and therefore is trying to prioritize um, for one, their healing, but also the amount of vulnerability that they are giving to this. With the Four of Wands here, there's also they're feeling a lot of joy, a lot of comfort in this connection, and they're feeling some cycles coming to a close here with World, and also they're feeling an immense amount of growth happening within them. With this Knight of Swords here, the key word is ambition, and I'm sensing with ambition and then the keyword ascension here that one thing that is really that they're feeling deeply right now is a desire to ascend to a more high vibrational version of themselves so that they can show up in this connection in a way in which will be stable and joyful. And then over here, we have the Knight of Wands, the Two of Cups reversed, Strength again, and we have Temperance. This person over here, this mouse person, um, strongly desires union, and feels the distance between these two that this person has intentionally, I feel like, placed to allow this person the time they need to kind of process. So that's why this Two of Cups is here, but it wants to be upright. This person wants union. This person, there's love here. This person loves the trout. And with the Knight of Wands here, this person is also very passionate and attracted to the trout person. And we also have Strength and Temperance. In terms of how they're feeling, I feel like they have, it's another way to show the trout how much they love them. They love them enough to allow them the time to heal. They love them enough to give them the compassion that they need, even when this trout can't necessarily give them anything in return. And then in the connecting energy of how they're feeling, we have Ghost. Both people feel a little bit of distance, but they don't like. And then here, this is what's shifting for the trout. And we have the Ace of Swords, the Six of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. This is wonderful in terms of what's shifting for this person. And this person is already in the process of shifting. So this is something that's just coming about very naturally at the moment. But I mean, with the Ace of Swords here, the key word is new ideas. And for me, it represents like clarification and understanding. And I think that what this is indicating, especially with this Six of Cups here, is that this person is truly on the cusp of turning the shadow attributes of the child orphan into the light attributes. The Six of Cups is all about memories, specifically childhood memories. And it's a very loving energy. It's very innocent and pure. And so for this to come up, it's indicating to me, oh, and it's also like reconciliation. So this to me is indicating healing and love and reunion if these two are in complete separation right now. But definitely this person is transforming into somebody who wants to take this connection to another level. And we have that here with hard work and planning. This person is shifting out of somebody who feels as though they should protect their heart, and is shifting into an energy of wanting to give to the connection rather than be reserved in it or be closed off to it. And then over here, we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. This person is kind of moving into a state of inaction, or not, and what I mean by this is like they're moved, and it's not necessarily inaction. I think that they're moving into a space of focusing on themselves and allowing, instead of putting all of their energy into this connection, putting the energy into themselves like this person is doing. And then in terms of what's shifting in combination for both of these people, we have cleanse, illumination, and love. This is just a happy ending. It's a happy ending. Let's go ahead and keep going. What's going on with the trout? What's going on with the trout person? Okay, let's see. Interference, an external party is intruding on this relationship. I think with the there's a couple of things that I'm feeling with this. One, I feel like the interference has to do with some wounds or patterns that this person is placing on this connection. Two, I think the interference is suggesting that this person has some trust issues, which I do see with protect your heart, and this is why this card is showing up. Okay, and self-care. Yep, this person is trying to focus on their transformation. Clear your energy field and focus on yourself before acting. Okay, and then we have support. Lean on your inner circle during this time. And then over here we have obstacles. Unhealed wounds are blocking forward movement. I think that this person is acknowledging that this person has some unhealed wounds that they're working through. Integrity. Does this situation align with your values and morals? I think this is the same energy as the light attributes of the angel that this person is showing up in right now. They want to show up in a way that has integrity. And then we have wait. The timing is not quite right, which again, with temperance and strength here, this person is acknowledging that like this is divinely guided. This is happening no matter what. And um, right now, other things need to happen. Okay, finally, pile 4, let's get some advice. What advice is there for the trout? Okay, we have harmony. I know in my heart that when something is right, it feels easy and breezy, even though that sounds cheesy. With this in mind, I banish all stress, insecurity, and tedious work from my relationships. Then I invite harmonious relationships into my life and let them show up on their own time. Easy breezy things are rarely punctual. Okay, what about for the next? Open-heartedness. I know that life and the people living it can be an absolute bummer sometimes, but I promise not to let unhappy chapters make me jaded. If I let negative experiences turn me sour, then the jerks witness, so I'll move on with an open and hopeful heart, if only because I hate losing to jerks. And finally, let's get an affirmation for you. What affirmation is there for pile 4? My power lies in my peaceful present. Okay, pile 4. Well, this is where I'm going to leave you for today. If this resonated with you, I would love to know how it did in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. But thank you so much, pile 4, for letting me read for you, and I hope that I will have the chance to read for you again in another reading soon. Bye! Hello, pile 5. If you chose this Tiger's Eye Heart, then this is going to be a reading on you versus them. What is going on in this connection? So the way I've set it up is these oracle cards here are going to represent you, your energy toward the connection, and them and their energy toward the connection. And then this oracle card is going to represent the connecting energies currently. And then with the tarot, we're going to be asking what are they thinking? What are you thinking? What are they and you feeling? And what is shifting for the both of you? And then these prism oracles are going to be the connecting energies for everything that I just mentioned. So let's get into it. So pile person 1 is being represented as the beaver, the companion. The light attributes are loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness, and the shadow attributes are betraying by misusing confidences, loss of personal identity. And their energy toward the connection currently is gifts to the portal. The person 2 is being represented as the cricket and the king. The light attributes of the king are enlightened, benevolent leadership benefiting those in your charge, and the shadow attributes are excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. And their energy towards this connection is pink bubble. And then the connecting energies of these two is the vision. Okay, let's go ahead and get into tarot really quickly before we dive into the goals. What is person one thinking? What are they thinking? We have the Knight of Wands. What are they thinking? They have the Emperor. What are they thinking? And we have the Queen of Wands. What are they feeling? What is person one behind? Okay, we have the Nine of Swords. We have the Six of Wands and the Four of. Okay, and then what's shifting for this? The Five of Wands, the Two of Pentacles. And the Seven of Swords and the Ace of. And let's get into this. What is person two thinking? How are they thinking? Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll take the Hermit and I'll take Judgment. What are they thinking? And we have the Eight of Swords. What are they feeling? With the Eight of Cups. Temperance and Strength. And then what's shifting for this person? We have the Nine of Pentacles. The Page of Cups. And we have the Queen of Cups. Okay. And then let's go ahead and get the connecting energies right now. What's the connecting energy for what they're thinking? We have success at their feeling. Okay. Magic and faith. And then what's shifting? Okay, then we have just. Okay. Pile 5. So I would say that out of all of the piles, this pile is the most in alignment right now. These people are both on the same page, essentially. Um, they might be showing up a little bit differently, but they do hold the same vision, if you will. So the beaver is really an animal of practicality, of um, hard work and homemaking. It's a very stable type of energy. And then with the companion here, I'm sensing that this beaver person might be showing up in a way right now that is kind of like you are either friend zoning them or they're friend zoning you, depending on who you are. Um, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but I am based on like the tarot that I pulled. I didn't pick up on that until I pulled this, and now I'm realizing that I may have missed that. And with the companion, I'm sensing that there is a profound amount of love for this cricket person, but they're showing up in this connection right now as a friend rather than like somebody who's like really passionate and emotional, I guess. Um, and I see it even further here, like in the tarot. We'll get further into it, but this is a lot of wands. Um, which is indicating to me that there is passion. They're just not showing it. This is like they're in a more practical type of energy right now. And then the cricket is a card of luck and happiness and joy. And I'm sensing that the cricket person is somebody who is genuinely just good energy to be around. And they're also showing up as the king. And I feel as though this king is showing up in the light attributes of it, which is enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. So both of these people, the companion and the king, are people who are selfless and who bring about an energy that benefits those around them. Um, then the way that the beaver is energetically approaching this connection is they see a lot of potential, and they're approaching this in a very patient way, in knowing that this connection is going to turn into something else. And the cricket person is energetically giving to this connection pink bubble fairy, which is essentially envisioning what it is that you want and then acknowledging that it's already yours. So both of these people right now are manifesting this connection, and the connecting energy is the vision. So they're both manifesting the same thing. They both want the same thing. Okay, so let's get into what it is that they are thinking. So for the beaver, we have the Knight of Wands, the Emperor, and the Queen of Wands. So what they're thinking is um, they see a lot of potential with this Knight of Wands here. This is really passionate, and same with the Queen of Wands. They're looking at this connection in a very passionate, fiery way. There's a really strong desire here, and they're thinking from the point of view of somebody who is goal oriented. With this Emperor here and with the keyword take up space, I feel like the beaver is really thinking about ways in which they can come forward. And the Queen of Wands keyword is determination. And so this is more this manifestor energy. So this person, I would say, in terms of what they're thinking, they are really aware of how their thoughts become things, and they're staying very positive. Then in terms of how the cricket is thinking, we have the Hermit, Judgment, and the Eight of Swords. So the way this person is thinking about this connection is they're more focused right now on the fact that there hasn't been this union. Um, they're focused on the way that I'm seeing this is they want this judgment. This is what they're thinking about the most, is this judgment moment, this reckoning, this coming together and like laying things out on the table. But I also think that they're recognizing with this hermit energy that there is more going on right now under the surface than what is meeting the eye. And until that time comes when this union can happen, they are going to continue to be introspective and grow on their own. And also with this Eight of Swords, I'm sensing that they feel like this might be up to this beaver person to put into motion. I feel like with the king energy here, this person has been kind of leading this, and they're thinking that it might be time to let go of some of this leadership and allow this other person to step into their power. And then the connecting energies between the two of them is success. So both of these parties are thinking of ways in which this connection can succeed. Then over here, we have the Nine of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the Four of Swords in terms of how they are feeling. So I would say that this beaver person does not want to mess it up. With the Nine of Swords here and the Four of Swords, I'm sensing that they are aware that if they go about this too quickly or they don't think things through all the way, they might not have this victory that they are desiring. And so they are really in a state of contemplation and of weighing their options and making sure that everything and also I think that they're a little bit nervous. Like this Four of Swords and the Nine of Swords is also giving me the energy of somebody who is kind of nervous for the outcome of like what it is that they're starting to feel. And then over here we have the Eight of Cups, Temperance, and Strength. So I think that this cricket person might be under the impression that this other person has a lot of options. There's this feeling of confusion, like this cricket person feels a little bit confused as to what's going on or what this other person is thinking or feeling. And with Temperance here and Strength, I'm also getting the sense that this cricket person doesn't want to rush things either. Temperance and Strength are both really gentle, um, gentle cards that like can be persuasive, but in a gentle way. It's not forceful, and so I'm sensing that there's a gentleness that this person is feeling towards this connection and also towards the beaver. And then the connecting energies are magic and faith. Both parties are recognizing that there is something very special here, and they're both feeling it in the sense of like they think that it might be meant to be. Like what they're feeling goes beyond just a regular old crush. And then we have over here the Five of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Swords as to what is shifting for this beaver person. And I think what is shifting for this beaver person is this beaver person is having an awakening. And what they are awakening to is the fact that they have been lying to themselves about how they feel. And I think that they're realizing that what they want is some sort of emotional renewal that goes beyond just a friendship with the Ace of Cups here. And then with the Two of Pentacles and the Five of Wands, I think again this is a realization. This Two of Pentacles is representative of them realizing where their priorities have been and how they have been lying to themselves. And the Five of Wands is representative of them wanting to fight for this connection or fight for what it is that they have just realized and come out on top. Over here with the cricket person, we have the Nine of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. I would say that not a whole lot is shifting in terms of this person's center point. This person is already in a pretty positive energy with the cricket and the pink bubble fairy. If anything, I think that they might be enhancing their intuition, opening their heart space even more, continuing to take a lighthearted approach that the cricket does in along with this Page of Cups. And then with the Nine of Pentacles, they're really going to be just standing in their power and in their abundance. And what we have for what's shifting for the both of them is disruption. The friend zone that I'm picking up on, I think is going to be disrupted into something more. Okay, let's go ahead and get some more. What's going on with this Libra person? Okay, we have intuition. You already know the answer you seek. Yeah, I think that with this Seven of Swords here, intuitively they know, they just haven't caught up to what it is that they know yet, if that makes sense. What else? Okay, we have mastery. You've learned the spiritual lesson. And twin flame. This is a divine counterpart connection. This person is really coming to some conclusions here. And then what's going on with this cricket person? And if it's not necessarily the friend zone, I would say that this person has been lying to themselves about the depths of which they want this connection to go. Okay, so what about this cricket person? What's going on with this cricket person? Okay, we have friendship. This friendship is leading to more. Okay. We have soulmate. Your soulmate loves you, accepts you, and respects you unconditionally, and decision. It's time to decide about this relationship. Yeah, powerful changes are coming in this connection. Let's go ahead and get you guys some advice. This is super exciting. I'm really excited for you guys. What advice is there for the beaver? We have commitment. I willingly accept that it's safe to topple my walls and commit completely to a relationship. It might be one that's already here or one that's on the way. Either way, those walls have got to go. Without them, I can go further, feel freer, and love bigger than ever before. Bonus. No walls means I'll save a lot of money on picture frames. And what advice is there for the cricket? Perfect match. Congratulations, you've gotten your and everyone else's wish. This is an auspicious sign that a healthy, authentic relationship is either here or on its way. This is the sort of relationship where you don't have to compromise, settle, sell out, or otherwise be a non-you. This is a relationship anchored in truth and love that neither party will have to hide their farts from. Smells like a special duo. Oh my god, this is so exciting. Okay, and then last but not least, let's go ahead and get you an affirmation if I can find them. Okay, what affirmation is there? Pile 5. Okay. I am a light worker in disguise. I don't have to talk about it. I can just be it. Okay, pile 5. Well, this is what I'm seeing for you guys today. I'm so excited for you. If this resonated, I would love to know about how it did in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. But yeah, thank you so much, pile 5, for watching and letting me read for you. And I hope that I have the chance to read for you again in another video soon. Bye!